welcome to another episode of Service for the Community. I am your host, Lauren Culver, and today on our show we have returning guests Jeff Lichtke from Clarkson Rotary, Alan Partington from the Clarkson Area Optimist Club, and a new guest, Mike Lowsey, Natural Resources Manager from Springfield Township. And it's also, we are taping on Earth Day today, so you are a perfect guest to have on here today.
Excellent.
So thank you guys for coming on. So first, Mike, let's hear an intro of who you are, and you have a new position as well.
Sure, yeah. So I'm Mike Lowsey. I'm the Natural Resources Manager for Springfield Township, and that's a recently created position within the township. There's a few objectives with the position. One of them is to provide outreach to some of the landowners that may have natural features in their backyards. We have a lot of rural areas in Springfield Township, and people have habitat that they're trying to manage, and with the advent of invasive species and things, there's a lot of concern about what to do. And so one of my position functions will be interacting with those folks and helping assist them in managing their backyard habitat. In addition to that, I'm going to be doing a fair amount of restoration on the public lands that we have. We have about 500 acres of parklands. Most of those have high quality natural areas on them, and we'll be out there controlling invasive species and doing other management actions like prescribed burning and some hydrologic restoration as well in some of the wetlands. So there's a diverse mix of that, and then I'll also be working with some of the partners in the county through our Oakland County Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area, and helping get more and better conservation done across the region.
Wow, that's awesome. So what are some of the invasive species that you're working to get rid of?
Sure. So the three priority ones right now are Phragmites, Japanese knotweed, and Oriental bittersweet. In addition to that, we have swallowwort, which is another vine that is pretty invasive right now. And all four of those actually are rapidly increasing in their population, and so we're trying to control them and prevent them from spreading into new natural areas and into areas that they can spread more quickly, like roadways and things where they might be mowed and then spread. So those are four, and then there's probably about another 100 other ones that, depending on the site, we'll be working on.
I'm sure. And for the general public, you guys are also working on educating people on how to maintain their lands and try to prevent invasive species from spreading. Do you want to talk about the workshops?
Oh yeah, sure. So one of the things that we're doing this year is that we're hosting a series of workshops. We've already hosted our first one, and then we have 3 in the upcoming summer months. And the goal there is to sort of get people out and do some hands-on control methods on some of our land, so that they feel more comfortable when they get back to their own properties and things of that nature. So I think the first one's on May 7th, and then there's another one on June 4th, and then we have one scheduled later in the year. And the idea there is you're going through a series of workshops so that across the year you have an idea of what you can do at different times a year, because there's like optimal control. There's optimal control times for each species, or different sorts of species.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so if you come to those workshops, you'll have a chance to learn about why invasive species are becoming more prevalent and what you can do about them, and then also what some of the great things are about the native species that we have in our county, and why it's a pretty diverse county to live in as far as natural habitats go.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a lot of land up in Springfield. So how can people, if they need more information, do you guys have a website or email that they could contact you?
Yeah, they could certainly reach out to me and my email address, which is mlowsey@springfieldtownship.us, as well as going to our website, which will have all of the events posted, and then also some new information about some of the endangered species that we have in the township, and other qualities that Springfield Township has out in our lands and waters.
Awesome. Well, that's definitely useful information for everyone.
Okay.
Seems like. So Alan, from Optimist, you guys have a golf event coming up.
Well, it's not exactly a golf event. It's not like a golf outing. This is our junior golf, I forget the exact title, Optimist Junior Golf. It's been going on for a lot of years. I'm I believe even Tiger Woods went through this program when he was a kid. So
I think he won it twice.
Really?
won it twice? Okay.
I won it a couple times.
Well, it's kind of a neat program. We have kids, I think, from 10 to 18, and the qualifying event is coming up and very quickly, but there may be time if you see this. On May 9th is the deadline for getting your applications in. I believe the event is on May 15th, and it's in Auburn Hills here, so it's a qualifying event for the next stage. And if you qualify in that event, then you move on to the Michigan District event, which this year is in Metamora. And if you qualify there, you go to a PGA course in Florida for the final event. So it's quite a big deal. It's been going on for quite a while, and a lot of good golfers have come out of there. So if anybody's interested, you can contact us at the Optimist Club at 248-620-2984, or at email WKHorses, WKHORSES at Comcast.net.
So do you know of any Clarkson students that are in the event?
Oh, I don't know this year who is qualified, but yeah, there's many come through from Clarkson. For this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And throughout the immediate area for the qualifying event.
That's awesome. So I'll take it to you, Jeff. You also have an event to talk about.
Yep.
This one is exciting for me in particular.
Yeah, it's our annual Michigan wine tasting that will be out at Fountains. And the nice thing about this one is if you like the wines, you can actually buy them afterwards.
Cool.
So we have 7 Michigan wineries coming down, and they'll join us, and Fountains will provide the food. So it's a nice
They have
night.
great food there.
They do,
think.
yeah. And we should have a nice view up. We've got the second floor up there, so it's a nice view of the golf course. And so it's a real pleasant evening, much smaller than our other one by design. And
Right.
so a little more intimate, and a chance to meet your neighbors and have a good time.
Awesome.
And that's on May 19th. And
Very nice.
so
And if they need more information on that,
go to the website, just
the
Google
website.
Clarkson and Rotary, and you'll
I'll
get to our
find it.
website. Yeah.
perfect.
Or pay attention to this show and you'll see it flashed up on the
Exactly.
screen.
Watch the show. Yes. We'll bring it back to especially Optimist and Rotaries right now. You guys are doing a lot of stuff involving students. So we'll start with you, Alan. You have with the middle schoolers.
Yeah, for the last several years we've had several writing programs with the middle school. This kind of started when one of our members, we have an essay contest for high school students, and one of our members decided to actually kind of take that down to the middle school, and we've done that for a few years, and then we kind of realized that the essay contest wasn't necessarily for middle school kids, so we opened it up to let them write anything they want. And we have all kinds. This year, in fact, we got 86 entries
Wow.
from middle school kids, and 26 of those were poetry. So, and nonfiction and fiction are the other two categories. So we're just in the process of judging those now. And that's one of the programs. The other thing we do, we had a former member who's in memoriam for her husband, gave us a grant of money to do for scholarships for kids. And the club matched that grant, and we give out summer camp writing scholarships for middle school kids. And to either the Clarkson camp here, which is fantastic, that camp that's run here, or some of them choose to go to the youth writing camp at Oakland University. So again, that's in process at this time of year in spring, and we're just getting that going. And so they'll be going to summer camps. And the third thing I wanted to mention is there's a program we started at the library, working through the library, again, a middle school writers group. So we give the middle school kids an opportunity to come to the library, and it's kind of giving them a space so that they can talk about writing, actually do some writing. We had somebody come in last week, a local author, Carolyn Walker, who went through an exercise with them, actually using some paint, and then they worked with that and saw what they could see and what they came up with, and made characters from that and did some writing. They did that all in the actually short hour that we were there, and they were able to read some of what they wrote, and it was pretty interesting. So, if anybody's got middle school kids out there and would like an opportunity for them to write and know more about writing.
It's a fun group of kids. Yeah.
Yes, and Lauren was at that, has been there a couple times to help us
Yeah.
out, so that's been great.
Yeah, they're fun. Their imagination is wild. It's really cool. So then, Jeff, you have the youth exchange program.
Right. We're at the time of year where the inbound kids, that is the kids from foreign countries that have come here and gone to school in Clarkston, they're beginning to wrap up their year. But we have the applications from next year's group of kids. So right now we've decided to take a girl from Turkey. Hopefully she's up on her politics over there, so that ought to be really interesting discussion.
Yeah.
And then a lovely young lady from Chile, just south of San Diego. So those are the two, and we have a number of parents already signed up that want to, but there's room for a couple more if somebody's interested in hosting. And the way we host is we like to have 3 families. That way the student gets a different experience. We're all different people.
Oh, they transition between families?
Yep.
Okay.
And the families get to decide when they want to do that. But roughly sometime around Christmas, by that time you fall in love with this kid and you want them to go on your Christmas vacation. And then again sometime around Easter.
Okay.
And then through the final year, academic year. So they're coming in, and then our Clarkson kids, we have 2 Clarkson kids that are getting ready to go overseas, and it's beginning to become real for them. One's going to Italy, and the other one is going to Peru. So they're beginning to get excited about it. They've been through some training already, and mom and dads are beginning to get a little nervous, and the kids are getting hyped up. So,
I bet.
yeah.
What an experience for them to have like such a young age too.
Right.
It's so cool.
Yep.
And then Alan, you wanted to talk about the Community Art Connection as well.
Yes, I would. To start off with, we have a vacation place up north, and we were in the town nearby, and at one time I saw some art that came from the local schools and the local businesses, and it made me think that would be a neat program to do here in Clarkston. So we came back, and I got in touch with Jessica Hall, who's the fine arts coordinator for the district, and also a teacher at art teacher at Renaissance High School, and we came up with this program to use an existing art show that they have at the board office. They have that in starts late March through April. And then when that show comes down, we have before it comes down, the businesses come in and pick out the art that they'd like to have in their business. And and then we, as the Optimist Club, we deliver the art to those businesses so it doesn't get damaged and so forth.
Right.
And then they display it for a month, about the month of May approximately. And then the parents come in and pick it up from the businesses. So it's been kind of fun. A lot of the businesses really enjoy having that art there and seeing the kids come in, and sometimes they like to get their pictures taken with it and all that thing. They're pretty proud of it. That's one part of that program, and while we were doing that, we thought, well, let's give some more scholarships. So we give art scholarships to elementary kids in this case. So we send them to a couple camps that are local here. The Clay Camp, one of the elementary art teachers, Jody Sebring, runs that, and a teen art camp where the junior high teacher, Claudia Keglowitz, runs that one. And so it's really neat. The kids love it. Last year we even got a video back from one of the, maybe it was 2 years ago, but one of the kids who thanking the Optimist Club for sending him to camp. It really opened his eyes. I guess he was pretty good academically, but didn't have this whole idea of what goes on in art. So I mean, he really thought it was a great camp. So
That's really
we're pretty
cool.
proud of that.
That's really cool. So Mike, we'll take it back to you.
Sure.
I feel like we've held you out for a bit.
Oh, that's all right.
Is there anything else you want to add about what's coming up?
Oops. No, just, everybody else was mentioning some of the events for kids and things. And
Yeah.
with all of our, parks being open and free for admission, I would encourage people to take their kids or have their kids out at some of the Springfield Township parks, like the Shiawassee Basin Preserve, which has a couple miles worth of trails and a great opportunity to interact in really nice habitat, really nice ecosystem there with good, safe trails, and as well be on the lookout for our River Run Preserve, which ideally we'll be having folks out when we open it later this year. So there's a couple of really cool opportunities for people to get outdoors and maybe not necessarily have to purchase a park sticker or things of that nature by taking advantage of some of our township-owned parks.
Awesome. And get off your phones. Go play
That's right.
outside. It's springtime now.
That's right.
So what's a river run?
Oh, River Run is located on Andersonville Road. It's a park that we're going to be opening. It's about 80 acres in size, and it's got a variety of habitats as well. It has the upper Shiawassee River running through it, as does our Shiawassee Basin Preserve.
That's really cool. I'll have to check that out. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap things up?
I'd like to add one more thing. Rotary is predominantly long-term kinds of things, but we found a need over the years when particularly a natural disaster occurs. We, as part of the human race, want to do something. So the most recent natural disaster is the one down in Ecuador, where it's estimated 80% of the homes have been destroyed. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people have died and been injured. So what can we do? How can we, sitting here in Clarkston, help those people? And a program is developed, what we call Shelter Box. It's a big green box, and inside that box is everything a person would need for shelter. So the world is pretty good at getting food and medicine to a disaster, but shelter has always been an issue. And if you're talking about up in the mountains and it's going to be 10 degrees tonight, shelter gets really, really important. Or another thing that is really important we tend to forget about is security and the psychology of a disaster. If you're a 3 or 4-year-old and you've lost your home and maybe you've lost some loved ones, the psychology is just overwhelming. And so to have a place to call home, even though it may not be the greatest, really becomes important. So maybe we could cut to a video I think we've got prepared that will
Definitely.
explain it in a little bit more, and then we can come back and talk for a few minutes.
Awesome.
Imagine a situation where you've lost everything. Whether through earthquake or flood, tsunami or cyclone, volcano or conflict. What would you and your family need to survive? Imagine a situation where you've lost everything. Then a green box arrives. A shelter box.
It started out as a very simple concept. What would you need for your family if you lost everything in a disaster? A strong, tried and tested tent for shelter. Some thermal blankets, ground sheets, hats and gloves for warmth. Mosquito nets and a water filter to protect your family from disease. Pots and pans to cook with, a toolkit to repair your home, to earn your living. Basically life-saving, life-changing, very essential equipment.
When a devastating earthquake hit Haiti in January 2010, Shelterbox mobilised and was sending boxes within hours.
It really is unimaginable at this point, the totality of destruction throughout the city. Every open area is filled with people sleeping in the streets. Everyone's functioning without electricity, without water, makeshift shelters everywhere. It's unimaginable. Just the loss of life alone is massive. The coordination effort here is huge. It's not just we have shelter, it's where can we put that? Do we have enough for that entire camp? Can we provide security? Can others provide food, water, sanitation for those areas? So it's just a massive coordination effort, the number of different agencies that are here on the ground.
told these people how to put up tents, and now they're putting up a tent one after another. Behind us, you can see the tents they used to live in. So this is the example of people working with us and camp building up.
Shelterbox sent nearly 30,000 boxes in total, helping almost 1/3 people.
There will always be families in need. Fortunately, there will also be those who want to help. Whatever your contribution, you can make a difference to families made homeless by disaster.
Shelterbox relies on volunteers and donations to make its work possible. Your gift of time or money can help save lives and give new hope to families who have lost everything. Bringing shelter, warmth and dignity in the shape of a green box.
So as you can see, it's really impactful. And one of the questions we get is, can I buy one? And the answer so far has been no, that the need is so great that if we get a tent made, we send it to somebody who needs it.
Right.
Hopefully, as we get a little bit bigger in this organization, then we'll have some spare tents and we'll auction them off for millions of dollars and
Right.
people will buy them. But right now, if it's made and it's sent to somebody who needs it. So we're in Ecuador right now. A team has been sent down to assess the situation. You know, we tend not to think of all the ramifications of setting these up. So if we're going to put up 500 tents, they're going to average 6 to 10 people per tent. Now we've got a small village of 3,000-4,000 people.
Wow.
So with that comes sanitation issues, water issues, security issues, roads, power. All those things get wrapped up into setting up a small village to help take care of this, to replace the village that was destroyed. So Shelterbox is now part of a team of people that the UN is always the lead organization because they're in every country in the world. When Haiti struck, that was one of the problems, is they were all killed. Their building collapsed and they were all killed, so the natural lead for it wasn't there. But Shelterbox is now part of that team. And Shelterbox is also it grew out of a Rotary Club. It was actually like Clarkson Rotary. It was a small Rotary Club in Cornwall, England, and it grew out of that. And their first year in 2001, they sent out 147 boxes and thought we did good. And they got some other people interested, and so by 2004, their goal was to send out 900 boxes. Well, the tsunami hit that year, and instead of 900, they sent out 13,000 boxes.
Wow.
And then that's when they became a major player. And now they're a big enough organization, they're an affiliated organization with Rotary, and Rotary works real close with them, and our club in particular, we support them every year with a couple boxes, just every year. There's a major disaster like a Haiti about every 18 months, but there's a significant disaster like Ecuador every 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we back up from Ecuador, remember Fiji, the biggest typhoon ever to hit. So about every 2 weeks there's a natural disaster, most of which we in the United States will never hear about.
Right.
But
unfortunately.
if you go on the Shelterbox website, you'll see them click off right now. So it's a chance if you want to do something, here's something you really do, you know where the money's going.
It's going to make a huge impact.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So anything else any of you guys want to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would like to add one more thing. Another thing we do with the kids this time of year is at our meetings, which incidentally are every Wednesday morning from 7:30 at Clarkson United Methodist Church. But this time of year we try to honor the kids in each of the schools. We have the principals and teachers of the school pick one person, one student from each school. We bring them in small groups, 2 or 3 schools at a time, and give them breakfast. We have a breakfast and honor them with a plaque, and that the principal and the teachers talk about how wonderful they are. and they really are. And mainly with respect to not necessarily academics, but respect to how they are as a human being and how they kind of embody our Optimist creed. So it's really a great thing to see these kids come in and their parents are proud. And I suspect sometimes parents hear things about their own children that they haven't heard before themselves, because sometimes your kids act differently in different situations. So it's kind of fun to see.
That's really awesome.
Sure, I guess I would just add that I look forward to meeting people out and about in Springfield Township, and thanks for the opportunity to come on the show today.
Definitely, definitely. We hope you can come on again, and if any other workshops or events come up,
Yeah,
we'd
that
love
sounds
to hear
great.
about it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again, of course,
Thank you.
for being on. And that will do it for this episode of Service for the Community.